let's just do that. Hey, guys, welcome back to the podcast. Jake James and friends. What's going on, man?
Blessed, never stressed, man.
Nice, man.
Nice to be here, bro.
Here with DJ Yellawave today.
Yeah, grateful.
What's your real name? You want to say it?
Gio.
Gio.
My social is 601. I'm just kidding. Yeah.
Cool, man. I asked because we've been talking for a few weeks now, and I actually realized I didn't know your real name at all until right now.
Dude. And I honestly, I try to keep it that way. You know?
Yeah, that's why I figured I'd ask if you wanted to share it.
Yeah, you got to separate the artist from the art.
I feel that.
So.
I feel that.
But you're the homie, so yeah. Gio, man.
Appreciate it, man. So Jake James is simultaneously my real name and not my real name. Dude. So, like, 14 years ago at a radio show, 6 p.m. to midnight. And when I started there, they're like, you need a radio name.
Right.
And I lived in a town of like 1,000 people. And they're like, just in case you get like an obsessed fan, you don't want them to know your real name. And I'm like, I know everybody in this town.
They always use that extreme example.
Yeah. So I'm like, I don't know what my radio name is. And they're like, well, most people use their first and their middle name. Well, it just worked out that mine's Jake James. And that was right when the Chappelle show was big. So everyone was doing the Rick James, bitch. So like when I started going by Jake James, everyone like, people still have fun saying it. You know what I mean?
On fire.
Yeah. A few years ago, my friend was like, this is my real last name is Serini.
Dude.
And my friend was like, nobody's going to know how to say it or spell it.
Dude.
Like, Jake James sounds like a famous person's name. You should use that.
Dude, that's the gift. My middle name is Francois, and I couldn't spell it until I was like 13. I would always put the I before the O.
Yeah.
I butchered it. So it's such a headache. And sometimes I feel like everybody in any like entertainment industry, you're kind of like, we all face that. Do I use my name? Do I, create this alternate persona?
Yeah.
But sometimes you kind of just have to.
Yeah.
You got to swing for the fences, because it's like what I was given is not going to work.
Yeah, I feel that.
So, yeah.
How'd you come up with Yellawave?
Honestly, you would assume it's just like some random thing, but there actually is there's a method to the madness. So, the rapper, he has a song with Drake called Got the Club Going Up on a Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I saw a random interview with him and I think Sway in the Morning, and he was talking about how he came to basically use the name I Love McConan. And the whole idea was he knew that he was entering an industry where his sound wouldn't be universally accepted.
Okay.
But he kind of wanted to pigeonhole people that hated on his music in a way that, like, as they brought him up, they were saying, I love McConan. And I thought it was clever, right?
Yeah. He's like forcing him to say that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
right.
I like that.
and that even, like, gave me the spark of even just, like, wanting to come up with something creative or thoughtful. So, Yellawave, I basically use, like, color and emotional association. So, like, the color green, you think of, money. Purple is associated with royalty. White, purity.
You go like McDonald's and Burger King. They do the two color. They red and the yellow.
Yeah,
makes you hungry.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. There's a method to it. So yellow is also associated with happiness, but it's also just a bold color.
Okay.
So I took yellow and I wanted to use that and somehow create a description for what I saw DJing as, which is my happy place. So I took yellow and I took the A out and I put AVE at the end, like avenue, happy place, Yellawave.
I love it.
So yeah,
I love it, man.
That's where I came up with it. I've been running with it for a while. So
yeah, I was gonna say, when did you come up with that?
A long time ago.
Yeah. Have you? Has that always been your DJ name?
Yeah. Honestly, the funny thing is, my first show ever, I didn't have a name, and I didn't want to use my name because there was already, especially out here, there's like 4 on-air personalities that are named Gio.
Okay.
So I didn't want to use my name.
Yeah.
Right. So I basically somehow one night came up with it, and the very next day it was like my first gig.
Really?
So, and that was like 6-7 years ago.
No shit.
So, yeah.
Nice, man. Yeah. Nice. So I kind of want to get into that. Obviously, we've been talking because I have a little bit of an interest in DJing right now, this place in my life. So, I used to work for Tony Robbins. You know who Tony Robbins is?
Absolutely, yeah.
And, like, I've been in that world. So, like, the idea of, like, if you want to do something, find somebody who's doing it at a high level. be cool to them, and hopefully they'll show you some things. Like
Absolutely.
that's like ingrained in me. So like my brain was like, okay, well, who do I know? You know what I mean? And I'm R.I.P. Liars Club, but I was a regular at Liars Club for like I was there way too often, right? I was a regular there.
Right on.
Those bartenders could get me in trouble, man. They got my stories.
Yeah.
And talked to Colton there. I'm like, hey man, I'm trying to like, this is what I'm trying to do, and I'm like, do you know anyone who might just like show me some things? And he's like, yo, tomorrow night, DJ Yellawave is gonna be here. He's like, fucking talk to him,
dude.
It's been on since.
And the crazy thing is, I envy you for being in the position that you are now to even just like reach out to me, because my friend that knew about DJing was YouTube. Like I taught myself basically everything.
Yep.
And I didn't even really know where to start or where to look. I kind of just like soaked up what I could. Yeah. Emulated, what I thought I knew, and then it probably took 2 years before I even like bumped shoulders with actual DJs that, could point me in the right direction. So
yeah. I learned how to produce that way. I made beats for 10 years, and literally like every tiny thing, YouTube, how do I change this thing that I've been stressing over for 4 hours, you know what I mean? And then you watch a YouTube video, it teaches you in 2 minutes. You're like, all right, now I know how to do that, right?
And even with that, you're at the mercy of just selecting the right link. Like I think it's so discouraging, especially with producing. Like I was in the studio the other day, and this dude, I forget what it was, but he just it was just a keyboard shortcut, and this was something that I had watched hours and hours of content on trying to figure out, and he just clicked one button and just moved on. And I'm just like, man, I wish, but it's all timing. So whatever.
Yeah, I know that exact feeling. I've been producing again. I got a little studio up in my apartment upstairs on the 10th floor, and
check that out.
I've been using FL Studio for like literally 15 years, like maybe more than 15 years, and I haven't made beats in probably 5-6 years. And I downloaded it, and it's like riding a bike, man, instantly, like everything. But they have made quite a few advancements. So those little things that I don't know about the advancements, I've been having to like figure out how to learn, and I've just been using YouTube for everything. So it does work, man.
It's out there.
I feel like you learn better forcing yourself too. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I'm maybe in a different position where, like, because I've produced and I know how the equipment kind of works, I feel like you could show me a few things and I'd pick it up faster than maybe normal people. Yeah. But like, I would say if I was truly starting from scratch, like just YouTube University would probably be the way to go. You know what I'm saying?
Alumni over here, bro.
Yeah, for real, right? So, where do you DJ in Phoenix?
A little bit of everywhere, honestly. I moved back here specifically because I got a job as an on-air mixer at Power 98.3, which is like the hip-hop station out here. I basically played everywhere from Scottsdale to Glendale to downtown Phoenix. And since COVID, I've been actually traveling a lot. So I have made some friends out in Seattle. I go to San Jose, Brooklyn, Florida, New Jersey, couple spots in Texas, Houston. I just met some homies in Austin, Denver, and I'm trying to like get out of the city. But honestly, just with any creative medium, like Phoenix is a gold mine. Like,
I agree.
Everyone's moving here.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's like not necessarily the cheap option anymore necessarily, but it's like for the taking. Like you can't really name too many creatives that can put their stamp on like, oh, this is what, like with LA, like we can name a million people that we would associate with LA artistic culture. Yeah. You can't do that with Phoenix. No. So it's, the opportunity is there.
Yeah. So. No, I feel the exact same way. And in fact, that's why I'm completely obsessed with this right now. Because like when you first got here, we're talking, this is a networking engine for me. Yeah. People ask like, what's it about? It's like, it's about me wanting to meet cool people who I might not get to meet in my normal life. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I don't feel like there's one big podcast in Phoenix that's like, if you're somebody and you're doing something in Phoenix, you have to do this podcast. 100%. And that's really what I want this to become. Yeah. No, it's literally the best, man. It's literally the best. I think that's why like I'm kind of doing all of the things now. It's like I used to do all of these things, and like there's parts of them I miss. You know what I'm saying? But it's like I can't go back to a lot of the stuff I used to do, right? Like I don't feel like I even want to go back. I don't want to be a 38-year-old white dad rapper. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know I could. Like, I know I have it in me, and I could. I've done that. I'm not really fulfilled by that. You know what I'm saying? That's why I love doing this podcast, because it's a lot of the same skill sets. It's the same networking, promotion, marketing. I like making the thumbnails for YouTube. Yeah. Like, I get a little bit of all that. It's the graphic design, the sales, the, everything. So it's just like, now I'm like at this place in my life where I'm like, well, what are all of the parts of the things that I've done, and like, how can I take those and like bring those into the rest of my life? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why, like, I hit you up, like, hey, man, like, I would really like to learn how to DJ. And you know what? Maybe nothing comes of it.
Yeah.
Or maybe I learn how to do it. I just want to learn how to do it. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is like, with the podcast and all the people that I've had on, like, I've mentioned it to, like, 5 people, and they're like, oh, yeah, you could DJ here if you figure it out. Like, and I'm like, I just told you that I don't know how to DJ, and I'm going to learn. And they're like, yeah, well, when you do, let me know. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Honestly, and I think it's dope that you're interested. And I think from me is like being self-taught, me wanting to kind of like at least give you some insight on what I know. My understanding of DJing is you can pick it up really fast, especially with your background already with production and everything. And you could have a moment where it's like, oh, this is really tight. I'm figuring it out, but it's something that you don't necessarily even like have the motivation to like go out and share it with people. It's like just something tight that you could have for yourself. Like, because that's what DJing has been for me, honestly. Like me sharing it is like pays the bills, but I would lock myself in my room and DJ for myself for free if I didn't have to pay bills, honestly. I think that's the dopest part of it. So,
because I mean, most of us half the time we're at our houses, fucking doing that, playing music, doing that anyways, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And I hate being in a car and not being in control of the aux. Or it's like if somebody asks for a song and then you play it, and then they ask for 7 more songs. It's like, chill the fuck out.
Yeah. No, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. So, based on all of the things you've done, you're doing now, like where do you want to go? Like with everything that you're working on, like what's the next progression for you? Like what's the dream?
The dream changes every day. I'm trying to challenge myself to disconnect from a specific outcome.
Okay.
Just because I feel like it kind of hinders the potential of whatever could happen. Like one of the opportunities that I could have, if it fell through at the time, just because I was on radio, was like I had an opportunity to move to New York and work for Spotify.
Oh, shit.
That would never happen if I wasn't in the office. Probably just that day talking to the program director. You know what I'm saying? Like just being in that room. And I think if I was solely attached to achieving something specific, not that things shouldn't be like purposeful, but I think it's also a very toxic thing or a toxic road to go down. Putting pressure on yourself to like, this has to turn into this, because you don't really get anything out of it. It just turns into a job like everything else. So, but I would say generally, I've been producing as well. So I'm trying to finish up my solo project. I want to kind of like dive deeper into producing for other artists. I think it'd be cool Hip-hop? To go on a tour. My music is a lot of like electronic, some hip hop, R&B, even like some house, like just like up tempo stuff. Just feel good music.
Okay. I'm obsessed with like house and EDM, like mixes with like old school hip hop.
Yes.
Not old school, like
just like samples.
Yeah.
Like the K-Tronada type of stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, I think that's the greatest.
It's just cool beats with like late 90s hip hop is so dope to me.
Yeah. And also that genre that's kind of like emerged naturally. It's like, it's funny that people that don't really get it, they'll just be like, oh, that's PacSun music, or like that's the music that is playing when I'm like buying pants. And it's like, it is, but it's also tight. Right. It catches you on the right day and you're like, wow, this song is sick. Like I feel like it's moments like that are the reason that Shazam exists, right? It's because it's like, how do you ask somebody what song this is?
Right.
I want to exist in a space where people actually listen to the music. I think hip hop's great. I definitely grew up on it, but that's definitely not like the base of what I make or what I'm trying to accomplish. I would like to do you know, maybe a couple of tours with some artists, just on some
like
DJ
as a
stuff.
stage DJ?
Yeah, absolutely.
Dope.
I think it'd be sick. And it's definitely something that I'm ready to do now.
Yeah.
Just working with artists in the club scene. So, I'm openly looking, you know, into that space as well. But solely, I'm working on my own production, and I'm just trying to see like what I could do with that.
Yeah.
And I'm a new dad, so I'm trying to like figure that out too. Man.
How old's your kid?
She's 1 and 4 months.
Oh,
she's
yeah.
still a baby, but she's growing really fast.
Oh,
she's
1 and 4 months. They're getting some personality though,
dude,
right?
She's had it since day one. It's crazy.
Yeah. My kid's 9, so I mean, trust
blessing.
me. I got every step that you got coming. I've been through it, and it's
so tight. I'm embracing it.
It is. It really is, right? Even the hard parts are dope, right?
Yeah.
Because the hard parts change. You know what I'm saying? Like you're going through drastically different hard parts than I am right now. Like right now, my kid's 10, and we're going to fucking stores, and he's pointing out girls' asses. He's like, Dad, look at that one. And I'm like, bro, don't point at it.
Yeah, because then it's like it puts your character on trial, because it's like you want to be like proud and like fist bump, but it's also like, dude, manners, respect. Like,
exactly.
Chill out. Like, you're being weird, bro.
Yeah.
It's funny. Like, every time people ask me like about fatherhood, or at least like my interpretation in the last year, it's like I've learned more about myself than I've learned about the baby. It's crazy.
Yeah,
I think it's awesome. So yeah.
It is. And like my favorite part is like now he's getting old enough where I can share my stuff with him. You know what I'm saying? So like I've been showing him how to make beats. I got up at 2 Saturdays ago at like 7 in the morning, and he was already up on my computer on Fruity Loops. And I was like, this is fucking great.
It's so tight.
Like if you start right now and you never quit, like by the time you're 22, like you're gonna be popping, man.
Yeah.
Like if I was 10 years, he's 9.5 right now. If I was 9.5, somebody showed me how to make beats, it'd be on, bro.
Yeah. There's so many things that we've done that we've gotten good at.
Yeah.
That we've had that moment where it's like, damn, if I started this at 15, even, you know what I'm saying? Like if I even was interested in high school, like where would I be right now?
Yep.
So I think it's so tight to see that through this little person that came from you. Like my daughter is so drawn to music. Like she immediately stops everything and will go grab the speaker or wherever the music's coming from and just non-stop uncontrollably dance. And I've been that way, but I feel like she has an even deeper connection. So it's like, I think it's so awesome that I've kind of like, you know, gone down this path so I can, you know, teach her piano and guitar and all these things that I've kind of picked up that I wish I had that person to like put me on too. Yep.
Mine's working on learning the ukulele right now.
So sick.
He found some kid on YouTube called Boy with the Uke. You ever heard of Boy with the Uke? It's this kid, you know, Toxic?
Yeah, I actually saw he had a show at the Van Buren.
Yeah, we were front row at that show, man.
I was there.
Front row. You were there too?
Yeah, bro.
Okay.
Great minds think alike.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. Okay.
Tastemaker.
I love it, man. I love it. So he found Boy with a Uke. He's been obsessed with him for like 3 years. He knows every word to every song.
So tight.
He's got the mask, you know what I'm saying?
Dude,
and then maybe like 3 months ago, he's like, I want to learn how to play the ukulele and sing. I'm like, done. We went on first we went on Facebook Marketplace, found him a little ukulele for like 25, 30 bucks, and I'm like, if you fuck with this a little bit, you get even marginally, like you show me that you've been trying, then I'll get you a brand new one in lessons, you know, and we're just about there, you know. He's again, I forced him into YouTube University just like us. I'm like, I will get you lessons. Like I'll bring you to Guitar Center. We'll get the lessons. I'm like, but play with it first. Like, you know, learn whatever you can by yourself. And that way, when you go into those lessons, you have a little bit of a better idea. Even me talking to you, it's the same concept. You know what I mean? Like having that little bit of a background before you jump into something new.
Just honestly, the most valuable skill is being able to find an answer.
Yeah.
Right? Like whether you understand it or not, like that's something that is going to be more valuable than once you figure out what you're looking for.
Yeah, because that goes beyond just creative stuff too, right? That
course.
goes into all life.
All life. Especially we have the internet. Like this is such a crazy time that we live in that we can just wonder something and there's an answer. Whether it's real or it leads you down some dark rabbit hole, you know, like we have access to something that makes the world so much smaller. So why not take advantage of it?
100%. Man. 100%. So a couple silly questions just for my own personal benefit, man. Like if you were me and you were going to start over as a 38-year-old man who wanted to learn how to DJ, what would you do? Because the world's different now than when you started, right? You learn on your own. You know, even YouTube wasn't as advanced as it is now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where would you start now? Let's just say, like, my goal, let's just say I have a goal. Like, obviously, I'm not trying to play Coachella tomorrow or anything, right? But, like, your gigs at Liars Club, like, that was one of the first things that caught my attention. I'm like, I come here anyways. That looks awesome. Yeah. I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm like, how could I get to there? So if, like, that was kind of my goal, is playing some of these, you know, smaller bars and clubs in town, like what do I need to be thinking about at the beginning?
Honestly, just looking in the mirror and being like, what do I like?
Yeah.
And then you can, once you figure out, like, what is it that I truly enjoy listening to, doesn't matter whether there's a venue or an event where you can play that music, but just like, what do I truly enjoy? And then you look back at the DJ industry or what have you, and then you can, I would say, find somebody that's playing that, because at this point, there's not a genre that a DJ doesn't at least exist and is playing that music.
Yeah.
Then soak up game.
Yeah.
See what they do. Figure out what you can, you know, add, whether you know how to DJ or not, but at least look at that. And maybe if it's an underdeveloped, you know, part of DJing, that's the even bigger opportunity.
Look for the white space.
And absolutely. I wish that was my outlook when I started. For me, it was just like, I've been making playlists since I was a kid. Like, I could do this. So I kind of just like, I didn't even know what great DJs were until I was like 4 or 5 years in. And then I discovered like DJs that were on like boiler rooms, and I went to like competitions, and then I saw like the levels of DJing is like, it gets intimidating. You know? Like, there's like an Olympics of DJing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't know that it even existed.
Yeah.
So I would just say start with the music, and then look out into the industry, find that person that is at least a little bit close to the style that you like and emulate, and then create your own reality out of it.
Yeah. Honestly, that's literally how I do everything in life, man. It's just like, even like business stuff, you know what I mean? Coming up in kind of the world I did of like Tony Robbins and influencers, and learning how rich people make money on the internet. You know, it's kind of all the same. It's just like, you know, find somebody doing what you like, and make your version of that.
Yeah, 100%. You know what I mean? And honestly, it's just as important to not just find somebody that's doing something that you're interested in, but like, let there be something within the way that they do something, or who they are as a person, that you lean into. Because I mean, we talked about, you know, me teaching you what I know with DJing, but there's 100 DJs that's their whole gig, right? Like, they will go out and teach people, but that's not my thing at all, right? Like, I live this every single day. This is the world that I've created, and I've learned a lot. It's not that I'm not capable, but that really hasn't been my avenue. So I feel like learning about you and seeing how you like pick up things, I feel like that for me, I feel like, you know, it'd be a gift in myself to like, maybe it makes me remind myself how much I love the music or DJing as an art form, sharing that with somebody. So I think that's just as important.
Yeah, I feel that. And I appreciate that, man. Yeah, bro. Because like, that's literally like, I was just talking to my girl about this the other day. Like, like I get the most satisfaction teaching other people about shit that I know about. Like, when people come to me and talk to me about sales funnels and email marketing and affiliate marketing, like, I could fucking talk to you for hours and hours and hours. And if somebody like truly was like, hey, I actually want to learn about what you know, I would probably bug them teaching them even more than they would think they were bugging me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I get it all the time. Like, I get people in my DMs all the time, like, hey, like, can I like make money with you? Can you teach me how to do sales? And like, you know what happens is they come, and I'm gonna tell you this because I don't want you to think I'm gonna become one of these people. Is they come and they sit down with you, and you tell them exactly what you do and how it really works. You know, people have an idea of how certain things work, and then they see them. And you sometimes, like, you tell people like, okay, this is actually how this works, and you can see it on their face, like their face drops, and you're like, oh man, you're never gonna do this. Like, because I get people all the time that, let's say, like, hey, I want to learn how to make money doing sales like you, and I'm like, all right, cool. Here's an Excel sheet. There's 1,000 phone numbers on it. Here's a script. Call 100 of them a day. Say these exact words, and you might get 1 or 2 deals per week. But if you do, You might make $2 grand.
Great, yeah.
You might make $2 grand this week.
Or not.
Or zero. You know what I'm saying? And they'll spend one day making phone calls and realize it's hard as shit.
Yeah.
Most of the people don't answer. They leave the same voicemail 1,000 times, and then they're just like, well, fuck this. I'm like, okay, well, yeah, fuck that. But that's all I do, and I make the financial level that I do because of it. Exactly. You know, it's just because I know that on the other end of, 500 phone calls a week, there's 2 deals in there, and 2 deals will make me more money than most of the people that I know. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
And honestly, I think a lot of people's wants are attached to this outcome or this idea of, well, if I do this, then this can happen, which is possible, right? Yeah. But it's like in any industry, there's a guy that lives in some town who is probably a better DJ than I will ever be, right? But the way the chips fall, he may never see opportunities that I see, and vice versa. I think I can work my entire life and build and learn every single day, and it could be just the luck of chance that you are in the right room at the right time. And I think that's why you have to, when you're interested in something, it's the act itself. It's not, everybody wants to make money, but if that's your only motivation, what happens when you make the money? Then what? Yeah. Then what? Then what do you have?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no, 100%. Because what people think is they see my social media and they think this is what makes me money. They think it's the podcast thing and the Instagram shit. And honestly, it's not. That's the shit I love. This is what I love. But it's that hard shit that's not sexy that gives me the time freedom to be able to do this, right? 100%. It gives me the money. These are fucking $500 microphones. You know what I'm saying? Like the reason I have all of this equipment is because I do that other thing that's not sexy, and I eat shit just like everyone else. And I have it better than other people. I work from home. I don't have a boss, and my life's not like. To be honest, I spend most of the days like smoking blunts and having a headset on, pacing my apartment, fucking saying the same thing over and over, right? But I get to smoke blunts while I do it at my apartment, and I'm chilling. And fucking at night, I get to come do this. You know what I mean? So it's just like everything else. It's just like you have to I feel like if you put energy into anything, good things will come. And they might not always be exactly what you want or how you want, but I feel like the right things fall into place as long as you're putting energy into doing something. Yeah.
And moving with the intention of, I'm not trying to get something to, satisfy everyone around me or make them, impressed with what it is that I can, I don't know, in a tangible way achieve. I think the beauty of life is when somebody finds something that they really are passionate about, anybody could attest to the fact that they would do it if we were still in the barter system. We didn't have to pay all these bills. Like, there's certain things that you're naturally drawn to, and I feel like that flame burns out if you don't actually enjoy doing something. Yeah. What is the motivation in getting better constantly if the whole goal is to just make money? Because you can make money doing a lot of really sketchy things, right? Yeah. So I don't know. I that is the motto I'm living by, is just completely detached from the result or idea that I'm trying to attain, and just dive into what it is that's in front of me, and just be great at that. Yeah.
I love that, man.
Yeah, man.
I love that. Honestly, it's probably the secret to everything, though. You know what I'm saying?
That's the sauce. Yeah. That's the sauce.
Yeah. It's literally all of the good things that have ever happened in my life, all of them they've come from the stuff I love. You know what I mean? Like you said, there's a lot of sketchy things you can do to make money. 100%. Not even sketchy. There's a lot of safe things you can do to make money that totally unfulfill you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I could go get a job in some office tomorrow. Yeah. You know what I mean? I could go get a sales job tomorrow. Yeah. At a lot of places. In fact, you go to Barnes & Noble, and with my resume, you go to Barnes & Noble, you go to the personal development section, the business section, all those names on those books. I could go work for any of those people pretty much right now and say, hey, I used to work for Tony Robbins, I'd like to work for you, and they'd probably fucking hire me. And I can make a great, safe salary. But then what they're going to want is me to put 115% of my time and attention into their thing.
And do something that's actually fulfilling what they built.
What they're building. Yeah. I'm creating their dream. And I'm so hyper aware of that. You know what I'm saying? It's just and then, they see you doing your side projects. They see me doing the podcast, and they say, you spent 2 hours doing the podcast. I'm like, shouldn't you have been working on the thing I pay you to do?
Right.
And then I'm just like, should I just not do any of the things I love? So it's just like, there's like a trap that comes with that. You know what I mean?
Well, and to them, those things are your side quests.
Yeah.
It's like, no, dude, you don't understand. I was here for 8 hours, and then I went and did something that actually made me feel like today wasn't a shitty day.
Yeah.
So
right.
It's not for you. Like, fuck off. So,
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. But shit, man. Well, I'm excited to just learn some new shit. You know
we're gonna
rock
out, bro.
I fuck with music anyways. I've been making beats again. I don't know, man. It's just like,
bro, I'm sure I'm gonna learn a lot from you too. And bro, I appreciate you having me, bro.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. So, open invite to come back, talk shit about music, anything you got going on, you want to talk about, dude. I always tell people, I call this Jake James and Friends. People always like, what's your podcast about? And I'm like, it's not about anything. It's about the people. It's about the people I get to meet. Yeah. Once I meet them, you know what I mean? Like, use my platform for yours. Yep. You know what I mean? I have a friend that he thinks of random ideas, and he's like, hey, I've been thinking about this. He's like, can I just come talk about it? Yeah, like, yeah, you can.
That's so tight.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
It's dope.
So anytime you want to come back, let's get it. We're going to get your boy over there on.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
What's your name again, man?
Yano.
What? Yano. You know? Yeah. All right. We're going to get Yano on the podcast. Yeah. Open invite. Honestly, I always say this. I always end it this way, too. So we might as well get to that part. If you're in Phoenix, even if you don't do something cool, but like you want to come talk about something, if you think I might think it's interesting, open invite to almost anybody. Yeah. I mean, I've had people with 1 million followers on this page. I've had people with 150 followers on this podcast because I don't give a fuck. Like the Instagram algorithm, if it's a good clip, it's going to promote it anyway. So like, I don't need you to have 1 million followers to come do this podcast. You know what I'm saying?
And second guessing yourself or your ideas is the most selfish thing that you can do, because you can come on this podcast and you can share an idea that maybe only you believe is tight, but you sharing that, somebody is going to hear it, and because they heard it, it's going to set their entire life path up. Like you have no idea. Like, don't be selfish with your ideas, with the things that you love and enjoy. Like, like you're not. I hate to sound like, bro, we're not that special. Like, there's somebody out there that loves the corny things that you love. Like, dude, like,
100%, right?
Share. That's what we're here for, right?
That's what we're here for.
Yeah, man.
I love it, man. Well, dude, this was fun. Where can everyone find you online?
All social media at Yellawave. That's YELLAWAVE, like the waves in the sea. Obviously, I've been on radio, so that was kind of quick draw. But if you're ever in the city or really anywhere, just follow me and keep up. I'm working on a couple pretty cool events this summer, so just look out. And thank you again, man, for having me. I really appreciate it,
man. Well, people don't ever realize this, but today was the first day we met, so it's great to meet you, man.
Yeah, bro.
Cool. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
All right, we're out.
Peace.